Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy BB27 here, and welcome to another SML character review. So, it's actually been a few months since I made one, and I do want to apologize for that. This is a series that I wanted to keep up with, and I wanted to keep, making a regular thing on the channel, but I just kind of was too lazy to ever make another one, and I just never, I don't know, I had ideas, and there's still tons of characters I want to do this for, but just never really got around to doing it. So, for today's episode, we're going to be doing a bit of a different character. We're going to be covering Judge Pooby. So, Judge Pooby is very different than anyone else I've covered so far, even more so than Kung Pao, which was very obscure. Because Judge Pooby, he is a real-life character, and not only that, he's one of Pablo's characters, even though he doesn't really have many that are recurring. His only main one right now, and for the past few years, has been Judge Pooby. But it is one of his, side character, big characters he does, where it's just him playing it himself and not like a puppet or a plushie, right? So because of this, he's not a super, important character. He doesn't really impact, he kind of does impact the videos, and I'll get into that in a second, but he isn't, as important as, a Marvin. Ads. Okay, anyways, Judge Pooby isn't as important as, a Marvin or a Jeffy, basically, is what I was trying to say. So, because of that, this is going to be a little more of a quicker kind of SML character review. I'm not going to get as in-depth with it. And Judge Pooby is actually one of the first, modern-day characters we're covering, because so far, everyone has either been extremely old, like Kung Pao, or just kind of been around for many years, like a Junior or Cody. So, but with Judge Pooby, he got introduced back in 2021, and this was around the time I stopped watching Logan and took a break from him for a while. So this was kind of I missed the introduction of him, and he also the introduction of the Courtroom. Basically, the Courtroom and the whole reason Judge Pooby exists is so that they can start expanding on plots more. So that's kind of the whole idea of it, because usually when a character in SML goes to jail, Brooklyn Guy just kind of swoops them up and leaves, and kind of just dips out of there, and that's, skedaddles, and that's it, But with Judge Pooby in the Courtroom, it always kind of expands the video a little more, where they actually have a court scene and they actually cover the case, and either Judge Pooby lets them go for, whatever reason, because sometimes he gets bribed to let them go, or he just, is whatever about it. And usually he lets some crazy crimes kind of go, and then sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he's pretty strict on smaller things, and that's kind of the whole joke. Judge Pooby as a character is a dumb judge character. He's a goofy judge who, he tries his best, but a lot of the time he isn't very good at it, and sometimes he just lets, straight up criminals just walk out of there because they bribe him, or they say something dumb to him, or try to make up, a crazy lie. And then every now and then he will actually throw someone in jail, which leads us to the jail scenes. So these are also kind of a big thing upon a modern day SMLs. Every now and then we'll have a jail scene. So usually these don't last too long. It's just characters visiting other characters in jail. Sometimes in rare cases, it's mainly focused on the person in jail trying to escape, or just talk to their cellmate, which is, Bubbles. So that's kind of an old character from way back in the day when they would do a jail scene, but they haven't really done jail scenes for a while until Judge Pooby got introduced in the Courtroom. So yeah. Anyways, for the character himself, I know I'm kind of rambling. I'm just trying to give a lore recap of him. The character himself, he's a good character. He's genuinely a pretty funny character, but he does have a few big flaws, and some of the stuff I really don't like about him, which I know a lot of you guys can agree with, is that the Judge Pooby segments can sometimes be a little too much on the video. It could really impact a video for negative or positive, and usually it's negative. This is because these scenes will go on for so long without any real jokes or structure. It's just kind of them yapping and trying to get out of, a case, or trying to get someone arrested. And Judge Pooby kind of just goes on a little while, and yeah, I get they're trying to throw jokes in there, but it's just kind of boring. They literally will take up half of a video sometimes. These sections will go on for so long. There was one recent example, I kind of forgot the video, it was a Junior video though, where Junior and Cody kept having to go to the Judge Pooby over and over and over again 5 or 6 times, and it was a nightmare. Usually it's never that bad, so that's kind of a one-off, time that happened, but that is a really, that's horrible. But for the most part, they're a couple minutes, they're not too bad, they're funny, they're a nice little pause from the video, I feel like. You could call them filler, but usually they aren't filler, which is kind of what I like about the Judge Poopy stuff, is it's not like the story time animations. Usually a Judge Poopy segment does relate to the video and the plot, but sometimes I feel like they always rush into a Judge Poopy segment when they don't need to. Like, literally within the first couple minutes of a video, they could be right at the courtroom of Judge Poopy, and it's a little too much. Like, in his debut video, Junior and Jeffy go to prison, he literally gets debuted within the first, like, 2 or 3 minutes already in, the courtroom, which, okay, fine. It's a first-time video. It's an introduction for him. Makes sense. Most of the video is about prison and about, Junior and Jeffy going to prison, so it makes sense that they would spend the time there. But then there's a lot of random videos where they'll just end up at Judge Poopy within the first couple minutes, and it's like, oh, okay, now we're here, and we're gonna spend a while in here before we get back to, more of the video. And that's a little bit of a downgrade and a downside for Judge Poopy's character, just because I know, I kind of know what to expect already. There's not a lot of times where there's something fresh happening with him. There's a couple cool moments where they, like, one video, they had, like, a cinematic angle of him, like, eating a Big Mac or something. That was awesome, but besides that, it's usually the same old stuff with his character. So overall, I'm gonna rate Judge Poopy a 7 out of 10. I'm being a little bit generous because some of these segments do kind of piss me off, but they're usually nothing offensive. I can kind of get through them. They're pretty funny, and they're not that bad. So yeah, I mean, it could be a little bit better. There's definitely a lot of room for improvement with the courtroom and the character himself. But for the most part, it's fine the way it is. Just don't overdo it, Logan, because I know you do that sometimes, But yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys think about him, and peace out. Also suggest more character reviews in the comments. All right, stay lit, and see ya.